I'm Jim Ebdon. I'm a live sound engineer. Welcome to this Sennheiser blog. I love the Police, and I love David Bowie. I loved ELO. I actually wrote a list of these down the other day, and I can't remember them now, but the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, I mean, what a great album. And I have two older brothers, so when they went to school, I put their record player, or when I got home from school, they were still out, I'd play their records on their record player. And it was those, and the Nice, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then the Sex Pistols, and the Clash. I mean, oh my God. I mean, I grew up at a great time, you know, when they came out, those punk bands, and it was just, you know, bands with angst and energy. It was amazing. I think it was Motorhead, the Bomber Tour, the Hammersmith Odeon in London. And and I went with my buddy, school friend Dave, and his mum took us. I had to borrow somebody's leather jacket to wear. And I stood in that room, and I was just blown away with everything that was going on. The sound, the lights, just the vibe from the audience. And I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to be a part of that. And I didn't know it was going to be sound, but I just wanted something to do with that show. I only do front of house. Okay. I did a monitor gig once for Bonnie Raitt, who came to Europe and did a handful of promo shows for a new record she got. And I was asked to just go and do monitors and help out. And you know what? She had the best band ever. And I was expecting this nightmare of, you know, a monitor situation, and they were just the sweetest guys. No one really wanted much in their wedges. She didn't really want much. I'm like, what's all the fuss about? This is easy. It's a piece of cake. I think there's been maybe 2 or 3 catalysts in my life in 3 different stages. The first being that break of working in a recording studio. And I happened to know somebody that knew somebody. And that was probably it for me. That just set my path at 17 years old. That's what, I've never really had a real job. In fact, I've never had a real job. I've always been in the music business. And I suppose second catalysts are, sadly that studio that I worked at went bankrupt, and I was forced to go freelance. And I tried the rounds of the London studios, and was recording a record with an English rock band called Wishbone Ash, and they said, we've got a festival in Germany this weekend. Can you come and mix the sound? Sure, I can. Yeah, piece of cake, So you can imagine the fiasco that turned out, having been a trained studio engineer to suddenly being a live sound engineer. My 20 minutes of sound check was taken up with the bass drum, and that was it. So that was a very quick learning curve experience for me. But I got the buzz. I loved it. It's fantastic. And then I suppose a third one later. Just getting the gigs that I wanted, just being able to, go for something, big name artist, and get that gig, and just, be the A-list sound engineer. I suppose doing, a show with Sting playing to 500,000 people in Prague, in the square in Prague, was kind of wow, And when you're at front of house and you're doing a show that big, you only see the 10,000 people in front of you, or 5,000, or 3,000 people in front of you from the mix tower to the stage. And then when you look round, and there's this sea of people that, even to this day, the bands I work with now, we play in stadiums, and just looking around and having a look is mind-blowing,